Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Mile High Huddle. Welcome back to Raider Maven. Welcome back to SI All Trojan. Welcome into the Horseshoe Huddle here at Sports Illustrated. I am your host, Kim Becker.
Kim Becker with SI All Trojans live at the LA Memorial Coliseum. We are just half an hour away from kickoff, and both Washington State and USC went through their final round of COVID testing this morning, and all is good to go. All right, guys, we're playing a little bit of Would You Rather with Sam Darnold here. So, Sam, would you rather have every dog try to attack you every single time that they see you, or every bird try to attack you every single time they see you?
Oh, man. I mean, what kind of birds are we talking?
Every single bird.
And then every dog?
That you'd ever see.
I don't know. I'd probably go dog.
Dog?
Because
okay.
the dog is probably, they got like an owner and they could probably restrain it. Whereas like a bird could just attack you and then never stop, so.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And joining me is ESPN college football analyst Jim Mora Jr. Jim, we're going to jump right into this and talk about the whole quarterback situation with the Denver Broncos. Obviously, the media, fan bases, even the team has been wondering if Drew Lock is going to be the guy here for the 2021 season. So, in your opinion, what do you think the Denver Broncos should do? Should they stick with Lock? Should they shoot high for someone like Deshaun Watson, maybe draft a guy? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think those three options are probably still on the table.
Well, everybody, it is early signing day, and one of the biggest prospects that we have had our eyes on here at SI All Trojans is top-ranked quarterback Jake Garcia, who had been committed to USC for over a year, but on December 3rd took to Twitter to announce that he was decommitting from the Trojans and opening his recruitment back up. I just want to comment on one more thing before we wrap this up. You guys really had some interesting outfit choices this morning. I want to touch on Hondo's shirt here. He just came straight from the strip in Vegas, I assume. But Matt, what are you wearing there? You really dressed up for us.
Well, some of the guys were telling me that you also run this great sense of community, and you guys do stuff, outside of the practice, outside of the training. You hang out kind of day to day. So can you talk about that a little bit, what you guys end up doing?
Yeah, I mean, communities, I love that they use that word because that's really kind of what it is. It's not a camp or an organization.
Would you rather have tattoos appear all over your body that depict what you did yesterday, or tattoos appear all over your body that depict what you're thinking?
Oh, what I did yesterday.
What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, I got up, I got a workout in, I surfed, I had 3 meetings, and then I smoked Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and Kyle Allen in golf in the afternoon.
Boom!
Alrighty, guys. Well, we had some ups and downs in the recruiting game with USC last week. They lost Josh Moore and Jake Garcia to decommitments, but they gained a wide receiver in Kyron Ware-Hudson, who flipped his commitment from Oregon to USC. His only winning season was in 2015 with the Jets. Also, the irony right there with the Jets.
Yeah,
that was his 10th season in the league. Right? Fitzpatrick started in 2005, so that's 10 seasons in. It was his first winning season, and then you're comparing his sacks and his interceptions, those stats, to Drew Lock. Like you said, this is Drew Lock's 2nd season. We're going into his potentially 3rd season with the Denver Broncos. So definitely, guys, when you're looking at it, just numbers right there and the stats, I mean, yeah, there's no comparisons. Weird times, obviously, we are all dealing with. So thank you for taking time out of your quarantine life. And tell me, how is it going? The Tom Brady thing has been happening for months. We've been talking about where he might go. I
was so wrong.
Me
I was so freaking wrong.
All right, gentlemen, I could talk about food all night. I promise you that, but I'm going to ask you one more question. Kim Becker here with SI All Trojans, and joining me is reporter Claudette Montana-Pattison. Claudette, we saw several players on the USC football team declare for the draft over the last couple of weeks. I am here with Hondo Carpenter and John Hendricks from Saints News Network. They are both at Allegiant Stadium. They just saw this game firsthand. Chad, the Denver Broncos are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend, and while the Kansas City Chiefs are ranked in almost the top 10 in every offensive statistical category, the Denver Broncos are pretty much in the bottom 5. In a hypothetical world, if all 3 of these quarterbacks do officially commit to USC and end up on the team next year, where do you see that dynamic going? Sometimes those underrated players, I mean, they're the ones that just shoot up there. And like you said, he might not wow you right now, but he'll be that surprise, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And every year when the college football playoff rankings are selected, there's always a little bit of skepticism, and 2020 was no different. A lot of names in the sports media world took to Twitter and other social media outlets to give their opinion on the procedure and how these teams are chosen. And here's what former Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer had to say on Saturday on Fox before the selection was announced.
Head coach Clay Helton did speak after the game to the media, saying that this was an emotional loss for his team. These guys put their heart and soul into the game, and that he was about to go console his team. It was an unfortunate loss for them. They were trying to go 1-0 on the week as they have been going all season, but unfortunately they just could not get the W in the Pac-12 championship game.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is that flame sitting in Allegiant Stadium. I know that all of us want to be able to see people under.
Kimberly!
You see what I did
think
there?
you've done this a few times before. What a segue.
Thank you very much. I'm learning. Okay.
All right, everybody, and that is what we like to hear. Jim Mora live from Los Angeles at ESPN. Thank you so much for joining us.
That just better include a welcome drink. You know, I want like Mickey Mouse with a tray of champagne.
I'm Kim Becker. Go Dodgers! All right, I'm leaving.
The ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I provide